What up, what up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is What the Fuck Wednesday. How everybody doing out there? Thank you for joining us tonight on our show. We got a very special guest coming on tonight. Comedian extraordinaire, fellow comic book nerd, just all around, jack of all trades. Rob Coleman. We will have Dino the Genetic Marvel from the deep, dark 51st state of Canada joining us tonight. On the 2s and 3s, we're going to have Greg. What we're going to be discussing today is we're going to try to keep this one a little bit more serious, a little bit more fact-based tonight. Rob had sent me a post a while ago, and it was from the author of the post is Steve Howe. I invited him to listen in on the show, comment or whatever. If you can't comment on my personal page, go to Upside Down Studios on Facebook or YouTube or Rumble or Twitch or X or I think that's all of them. Who knows? And you'll be able to comment on there. For some reason, I ain't getting comments through my own personal page. So anyways, this post comes from Sweat Nation or whatever, and I'll read the beginning of it, and then after the beginning, it gives bullet points and some comparisons. So we're gonna fact check them in real time, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of we'll just say left and right side not agreements, and one side wants to convince the other side of something, and they compare it to something, and it goes both ways. Everybody knows here on Upside Down Studios, we ain't so much supporting a left or the right. We support the truth. So that being said, I'm going to read this out. We'll bring in our fucking guests and get this shit rolling. So it says, I have a question for MAGA. You say you want Trump back in office. You say you liked his policies, that things were better, that he fought for you, and I want to know why you think that. First of all, anybody who thinks that any president is supposed to be thinking about you, or is supposed to care about you, or is supposed to have you in mind, you're a fucking idiot. You're a narcissist idiot. I personally don't want my name in anybody. I don't give a fuck who the president is, mouth. Not at all. I don't want you to care about me. I want you to care about our state. I want you to care about our community. I want you to care about our country. So that right there is my first gripe about the post. And with that being said, I'll leave everything else to the end of everything being read and fact checked. So let's bring in our guests from, like I said, from the 51st state, deep dark tundras of Canada, Dino the Genetic Motherfucking Marvel.
Hello, everyone from the tundra. It was 20 degrees today, and I started sweating when I walked outside, and it's going to be freezing in 2 days. I don't understand what's happening with weather.
You said 20 degrees?
Celsius, like the rest of the world, you Neanderthals with your...
Wait a minute, shit. I mean, we got up to 77. Our snowstorm ain't supposed to hit for a few days.
So yeah, that would have been around like 67, 65 degrees, 60, maybe 68. Not bad. But it was, if you were in the sun, you started to sweat. If you were out of the sun, you were like, it's a little chilly. Yeah.
and comic book and nerd extraordinaire, one of Ohio's up and coming. He's already came up. One of Ohio's better comedians, a top tier class. Rob motherfucking Coleman.
What up, Marco?
How you doing, Rob, tonight?
Doing good, man. And let me just say, You did an amazing job on your eyebrows tonight. Jesus Christ, they almost look real.
They are real.
You did an
I ain't gonna
amazing
lie.
job on
I've
your
been
eyebrows.
under the weather a little bit, so I ain't been able to get to the Asians to get them done. So they bushy as fuck right now. They
Nah,
look
man.
like
Bro, I got a haircut today, and she brought the comb over to my eyebrows. She's like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of these too." I'm like, "Thanks." Like, just trim the stride, the ones that are just like, "Hey, what's up?" Just yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah, I had some eyebrows like I'd wink my eye and they was like connected to the eyelash. Like I almost had an eyebrow dreadlock going on.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say this, Marco. Start wearing long sleeve turtlenecks before I see some of those tattoos and deport your ass.
No, they're all American tattoos. That's the reason why I show them.
Hey, I don't want to get you confused with Agote, whatever that gang is. I don't want you to get confused, man.
As soon as they say "Como te llama," I'm like, you better speak the fucking language to me, right there, right there. Even when my mama tried to speak Spanish to me, Mom, you know we America, right?
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas, Marco. Some long sleeve turtlenecks.
Well, there ain't nothing on my neck. That's one thing I used to tell all my kids still to this day, you know. And my son figured out he wanted to go against the grain. You get tattoos, you get them above the elbow, below the neckline.
Yeah.
And if you're a
Or
dude,
above the ass crack.
if you're a dude, nothing on your ass crack. Not at
Show
all.
me yours real quick.
I mean, hey,
I'm just kidding, guys. Just having.
But I got one of my sons. He looks. I mean, now mind you, my whitest kid, the tall ginger white boy, covered in fucking tattoos. He looked like a fucking doodle pet. Remember the old desk that we had back in the day, like in detention, that you just doodle all over? It was just that's my son from his fucking top of his head all the way down.
Yeah, my son's arm is starting to look like a bathroom at a concert hall. You know, down dumbass tattoos and
none of them mean shit.
No.
You know, each one of my tattoos got a memory or a meaning to them. You know, each one. I'm like, Dylan, what the fuck do you got?
I know.
And his name is Dylan. His name is Dylan.
Right.
I mean,
I keep telling my son, stop getting them tattoos. You're not in the Yakuza. He got tattoos all down his leg now.
Wondering why you're roofing in the middle of fucking July. Skinny white.
The best response I ever heard for somebody was like, "Oh, what's the significance of that tattoo?" He's like, "Oh, I had $300." I'm like, he's like, "So that's what I got." I'm like, "Why is that a thing?" Never understood it.
We got Cole Clayton, another comedian.
What's up, boy?
Another comedian out of
how you doing, man? That's been a long time, dude.
Long time. How you been, man?
You've been good. I've been good, man. You look good, man.
I appreciate it. I've
been doing
lost all the weight, gained it all back, and now I'm losing it again.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been.
That's the roller coaster, man. That's the roller coaster. I decided to just fall in love with mine. I just keep it.
Oh. I do miss being fat. I'll tell you that.
We ain't doing crack no more. We're doing Adderall.
Yeah, I forgot. You
old ass motherfucker.
He's moving on up. That's why.
Your generation takes medicine to be better at school. we drank and did drugs.
Sorry, we value education.
It's a horrible reason.
Give me a pill. Right.
Yeah. It's a horrible reason to do drugs.
Y'all do drugs to party and steal radios. We take drugs so that we can figure this economy shit out.
I mean, that is you'd think with the economy in the state it's in that they would just give you free drugs. They're like, listen, you'll need this. It's fine.
That's what they did in Canada, and you see what the fuck it got them.
Shenanigans, sir. Shenanigans.
The economy was so good in the 80s, people were just doing coke and crack all the time.
I mean, takes care of itself. You do too much, off you go. You do too little, you welcome back to society. I mean, come on. It works.
Yeah, it was that happy balance. I mean, it was good all the way to the late 90s, and then the dope got bad and the game got worse.
Right.
You can't have nice things because of it. That's it.
All right, so
goddamn CIA! About time somebody shot up that building.
I know, right?
They're selling crack to our boys out in South Central. Now JFK's documents get released, and now there's somebody taking a gun to them all. It's very interesting, right?
Did y'all go through a crack epidemic in Canada? Do you know?
No, there's a fentanyl issue up here, but not. It's more so that on the West Coast where they have no scruples. They
You mean
zero
Alaska?
character.
Canada has a West Side.
Yeah,
do, they do.
No, he means Alaska. That's what he means.
It's all Asian people. I'll be honest with you. It's just all Asian people in Vancouver, and yeah, they love the remaining few people that can't afford to survive are like, I'll just turn to drugs, and now it's their problem. So they're like,
They're not called Asian; they're called Eskimos.
Yeah, I don't think they were allowed to get like New Jack City and Boys in the Hood and shit like that up there in Canada.
I always
You
wanted
know,
that stuff like that.
We
happen
grew
in
up on Juice. And
oh no, I remember going to
called Moose.
Bro, me and my brother had to go see another movie while my brother went and saw Juice. I was like, that's bullshit. He's like, well, you're too young. And I'm like, sneak us in, bitch. Why are you being so hater? Ridiculous.
Where's everybody else? Where's the
All
rest
right.
of the crew, Margo?
all right, so we're gonna start this off. This says Cole, I ain't gonna read the beginning of it again, but it's pretty much the whole post is asking, you know, what policies, what this, what that did Trump do that was so good. And then it compares them to the stuff that Biden did.
That actually did, yeah.
Okay, all right. In Rob's defense, I'm gonna put an olive branch out here. That's like putting up Muhammad Ali against me. Not even Muhammad Ali, just like a heavyweight fighter against me. Okay, come on, I'm gonna get my ass whipped. All right, Joe Biden wasn't a good president. Everybody knows that. Let's put him up against Obama or something.
No, well, no,
A better option.
we're gonna leave the opinions and stuff to the end. We're gonna go with facts.
Okay, all right.
Hey, in Cole's defense, he's still a heavyweight. He's just
I'm a heavyweight,
unskilled.
But
Yeah,
I
he's
ain't
just
gonna win any
Yeah.
fucking fight against a heavyweight champ.
yeah.
All right, so
Same
says-
weight class, different skill set. That's fine. It's good.
Skill set versus no skill set.
I mean,
No.
there you go.
it said, now, mind you, I didn't realize after I read this post again, this is referring to his first administration. So that makes
Yeah,
this
what
even
did it
easier.
compare it to? Yeah.
I was comparing it to both, you know, from now and the other one. I was combining Trump's
Yeah,
administration.
his administration just started this time, so
Yeah, well, I mean, I was giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, you know.
Mhm.
But since this is his old administration, this is a lot easier.
Well, let me just ask the question just real quick before we get started. Do you guys consider yourself a Trump supporter or a Republican?
No, with truthers.
Neither.
At least for me, I'm a truther.
I don't consider myself either. I like I'm not a Republican by any stretch of the imagination.
But
Oh,
you do
God.
support Trump and his policies?
I like the crew he's got around him this time around more than anything. I like Tulsi Gabbard, I like RFK, I like Kash Patel. I don't like the Pam Bondi bitch.
You like so wait a minute, which one is that? Is that the rapist or the child molester?
That was Joe Biden.
What? That was Joe Biden, yeah. Remember, he's like, they like to touch the hair on my legs in the pool.
Who
That
else?
guy was weird.
Oh, the
Hey,
fucking
hey.
I don't know how I
we're
feel
not
about
going
the
that far. We're not
Secretary
going
of
that far.
Defense.
Everybody got skeletons. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. There's skeletons and then being a pedo. Those are not like those aren't. You're
Yeah.
like, I once did crack at a stripper. You know,
13-year-old girl. Then yeah, we want to.
yeah, that's yeah. You're going, no, that's not a skeleton. You need
I
to
mean,
go to jail.
also though,
sir."
if we listen to every single accusation, then we gotta start throwing Jay-Z under the bus. We gotta start throwing fucking Kanye under the bus. We gotta throw all kinds of people under the bus. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
Like,
even just saw
everybody
an
throws
interview
out
with
accusations
Orlando
to
Brown
everybody
that he
nowadays,
fucked
you
Cat
know?
Williams. That was kind of fucked up.
What happened with Cat Williams?
You didn't hear that? Like, there's an Orlando. Who's this? Orlando Brown? He just came out
Orlando Brown. I know.
came out with a new interview, and he said, you know, they was asking if he had sex with these different other musicians and stuff, and you know, he was like, "Did you hit this?" And he was like, "No, I made love to Drake," but he said he fucked Cat Williams, he fucked a couple others. I'm like, what? Who? Like, I
Cat
heard.
Williams?
Orlando Brown is a maniac. I wouldn't listen to
Yeah,
him.
I heard. Like, I hear
Yeah, he's a
different
bad
things
man,
about him.
man.
I'm not sure if he'd be credible because he seems like that Feldman dude.
Yeah.
Orlando Brown
His
is like
brain is
just
fried. I mean, don't get me wrong. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But half of that
Right.
is fried, man. So
Flavor Brown is like my generation's Britney Spears. You know, like it just kind of went off the rail, like a Disney star that just went off the rails.
because every
You know
time he
what I
gets
mean?
interviewed, it's like, "Whoops, he did it again."
Right. What's up, Greg?
What up?
Greg, something going on with your mic. It's kind of staticky.
Is it all fucked up?
No, it sounds good.
Here
Oh,
and
no.
there, like your first words were staticky. The second one was good.
Yeah.
It's like the first pancake. Give it a fucking chance, would you?
Right, give me a minute. God.
Not back. It's back. It's buzzing again. I
You gotta
spoke out of turn.
you gotta get in there. You gotta get in there and tongue punch that fart box. That's what you gotta do. Just get in there and just yeah.
Cover your ears.
I know what
Ooh.
Dino does in his free time.
Okay, yeah, that's a different show. Different show.
Are we good now?
That's Hammered and
Yeah,
Cheese
good.
on Saturdays, guys, at 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Punch that fart.
Dinner
All right,
and a show.
So the first, you ready, Dino?
Can you repeat
I'm-
that again?
I'm
I need
ready.
to write that down.
Am I
All right.
good?
So, yeah, you good.
All right.
All right. So the first one says because he told you he would lower the cost of prescription drugs and didn't, but Joe Biden did. Now, fact check: did Donald Trump lower the cost of prescription drugs? And this is an easy one.
I'll be honest
No,
with you.
nothing got lowered.
Yeah. So it looks like prescription drugs have been number one, ridiculously rampantly increasing, regardless of who's in power. And essentially, you guys pay the most in the universe. The
That's been
entire
happening since
universe.
Bush was president. Honestly,
There's
I mean,
some kid with diabetes on Mars who does not pay as much as you guys pay
Yeah, I think-
for
I
medicine.
think we all can agree Biden passed laws to cap insulin at $35 a month and costs for
Right.
seniors no more than $2,600 a year.
Yeah,
I think we can. I think that's pretty factual, right?
right. Yeah,
No, that happened beforehand. Hold on.
Rob's absolutely right though. You know, because when I was doing my research, if you type in the whole prescription drugs about Donald Trump, yeah, he lowered a whole bunch of drug prices. But on the other hand, in you know, tit for tat, Joe Biden did do a lot for prescription drugs also. He did, like Rob said,
Because he's gonna need them.
now,
Because he needs
real
them.
quick, if we don't be putting fucking poison in our food, we wouldn't need all these fucking medications to be capped. Now, would we?
Hey, listen, I'm on month 5 of being no longer type 2 diabetic. I am no longer diabetic.
Yeah, you know what he did? He stopped eating the poisonous food. He just stopped eating. Just
Yeah.
stopped.
Dude, he had a fucking hot dog eating contest. I was on it.
That was like the third time he ate last year.
And I'll
And that
do it
was in
again.
October.
And I'll do it
He ate
again.
3 times that year. And that was in October for Oktoberfest.
Oh, it was gross, Rob, to watch these fucking chugging down weenies.
I'll do it again. Without hesitation, sir. Costco hot dogs till the day I die.
We're doing a hot wing
That
contest
Sam's
in
Club
May.
chili dog. Have you had that Sam's Club?
No, we don't have a Sam's Club up
Oh, you
here
don't have
because
Sam's Club?
no, Art, we don't have enough people for Sam's Club. Damn it, we only have monopolies in Canada because we have a smaller population than California. It's bullshit. Okay,
When you become the 51st, we'll make sure a Sam's Club.
listen, I told
Rob's coming
listen.
to our side already.
I told Atlas, listen, I told Atlas in California, I'm like, listen, we'll become 51st state, but we get guns and we get tacos from you guys. We'll give you prescription drugs and healthcare. Okay,
Yeah,
like,
y'all,
this is-
y'all gonna have to give up healthcare. You know that, right?
no, absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not.
If you want to be
And-
in the 51st state, you have to
listen.
give it up.
Listen, we'll get tacos, but you guys have to eat
It's
poutine
a
now
part
at
of
every
American
meal.
culture is dying miserably in a hotel bed, or I'm sorry, a hospital bed, knowing that if you live, you're gonna have to pay an endless amount of debt. So you might as well just die.
See, that's on you. I pretend to die as soon. I'm trying to max out everything and then kick it. I'm going to fake my own death and disappear.
What they give you, they offer you a gun to blow your fucking brains out, so you don't have to pay.
Hey, let me just say this. I never thought I'd be on a podcast where Marco is quiet. I did podcast with this guy over the
There's a
whole
first time
pandemic.
for everything.
Yeah, you should see Cole and Jared start arguing. No one gets to talk. Period. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
getting back to the list here. So we can agree the first one I would give, I give a point on each side to both of them. Because
I would say
it's a false it's a false premise that Trump didn't do anything for prescription drugs, because he did quite a bit. But again, that is not implying that Joe Biden did not do it. Joe
Right.
Biden also did his part too.
Educate me. What did Trump do for prescription drugs?
It was actually let's be honest, they both failed, right? The idea that they brought down the cost of prescriptions, yet statistically the amount that people are spending on prescription drugs has continuously gone up. So where they may have
president. Sorry.
what? I didn't even hear what you said.
Luigi for president.
Luigi for president. No, but that's so it's the whole idea is that while they may have enacted some laws to decrease prices on certain drugs, other drugs still proceed to go up and make up for the cost. So
right. So
all
not a
across
blanket on drugs, which that's what people pretty much want. Whether no matter who's the president, the price on drugs is always going to be a debate, because okay, well, this person dropped the price on this drug. Well, we don't give a fuck about that drug. We need the price of this drug drop down, and vice versa. So I mean, I see where you're getting there, but again, I feel like they both did theirs, so I can't take away anything for Biden on that.
Yeah, I apologize. I just wasn't familiar with a policy that Trump advocated for that lowered.
I'm actually typing it in now.
It's okay. I trust you. I'll look it up later.
It's sorry, I'm on to the next one. I don't have that. There is even Wikipedia sucks.
That's why I use the Perplexity.
I know.
Or ask AI.
Yeah. Hey, trying to get.
They did a funny thing on Jimmy Kimmel where they asked AI whether or not Trump was a mole for the Russians or something like that, and they asked the what's his name was the dude that is actually the president. They asked his AI, and and it basically said there's an 85% chance that Trump is an agent of the Russian government.
Trust me, it's not Russia. He's working for Israel. That's fine.
Right.
Definitely working.
Hey, just like
just bombed Gaza again, and Gaza is basically a parking lot. Why did they do that? It's crazy.
You make it's like they're terraforming or something. You're like, bro, they're already dead. Like, just stop.
Yeah, they just bombed Gaza again and killed 400 people during a ceasefire.
Like,
I don't want to be caught on camera talking shit on the Jews, because I'll sit here and do it for hours. So, like, please don't get me started on
All right. So the next one says, he said he'd bring back manufacturing, but he didn't. Joe Biden passed the CHIPS Act allocating tens of billions in incentives for companies to construct and expand manufacturing facilities in the U.S.
Now, the way that worked is it was tax incentives. So if you built a factory over here, you don't have to pay taxes for a while, based on the cost and the production and stuff like that. I actually looked up CHIPS Act and was like, how it seemed like that was too easy. And the way he did it was build it into the tax incentives.
Right.
So,
but the problem with it was, though, is that even though with the tax incentives, not a lot of them companies came back.
No.
So, you mean there's a lot of projects that are still,
you got this
breaking ground.
This is the problem, though, is so they're showing. So there's a graph that I found that it goes over the from actually 1997 until 2020, and it shows that while the amount of money being spent towards manufacturing is increasing, the percentage of GDP is decreasing. So it's like it's one of those things where politicians, you love to use this, is like, if it's a big dollar amount, they'll use a dollar amount, but if the dollar amount doesn't show, then they'll use a percentage to make it seem like it. So while more money is being spent, it's not affecting GDP in the same way, and that's been decreasing from 1997. I'll tell you, my dad had a machine shop. As of the early 2000s, it was brutal, and it just kept on going to shit. So like, those numbers have been progressively getting worse and worse and worse as a contribution to GDP. The dollar spending is going up. So that has been, that's from,
spending, you mean a dollar spending towards,
so dollars being spent manufacturing towards GDP, but it is
Oh.
becoming a smaller slice of the pie when it comes to it, right? So dollars, it's going up, but it's still not like, remember, we're comparing things to like back when all of North America actually made shit. Now we're kind of making shit, but not really, right? So they're spending more money,
Why
but
you
it's
keep
not.
saying we? You in the 51st state yet, bitch?
Oh no, but we're suffering the same problems.
Canada's trying to invade us without us knowing. They're over here
Hey,
doing silent invasion.
we'll burn the White House down again.
Okay,
You
now,
didn't do that shit. That was the UK. They just
Hey,
used Canada as like a fucking route. Y'all are a bunch of cucks.
okay,
Cool.
listen to this just real quick, guys.
Yeah.
I typed in manufacturing jobs created under the CHIPS Act, 115,000. These products include 16 new semiconductor manufacturing factories
Yeah.
and are expected to create over 115,000 manufacturing and construction jobs across the country. Commerce is on track to allocate all remaining funds with CHIP Act guarantees by the end of 2024. So this is a little bit of an old article, but 115,000 manufacturing jobs were created under the CHIPS Act. That's not me. That's not me.
No. But I'm saying is that like that, while it's good, it's like remember, we're talking about half of the country used to be involved in either manufacturing or agriculture, right? That's
Well,
the
this is
problem.
just
So
chips.
it's
Yeah,
not
this is
enough.
just semiconductors to create microchips. That's not including cars or whatever else. That's just CHIPS Act jobs.
Yeah. No, which is hey, and listen, that's good progress. It's just that they're the information here. Let me see if I can send this.
So and in response to that though, Rob, from 2017 to 2018, manufacturing jobs grew significantly during Trump's first 2 years, with 462,000 jobs added by the end of 2018. In 2018 alone, 264,000 jobs were created, the highest in 30 years. The growth slowed in 2019 with a net loss of 43,000 manufacturing jobs due to the pandemic. Analysts refer to this as manufacturing recession. The pandemic impact. The COVID-19 pandemic caused massive job losses, including nearly 14 million in manufacturing between January and April of 2020. By the end of Trump's term, about 770,000 of these jobs had returned, but there was still a net loss of 188,000 manufacturing jobs compared to when he took office. In total, while Trump's policies initially boosted manufacturing job growth, the sector faced challenges due to pre-pandemic stagnation and the pandemic's economic fallout. So he did bring it in, but what everybody fails to look at is how the pandemic affected everybody and everything, including his numbers on everything.
Okay.
It's just like when they talk about unemployment, they say unemployment went down, but that's just, because people ain't filing unemployment no more. That's one of the biggest scams that was ever used by any, by Democrats and Republicans. Oh, the numbers are this, the numbers are that. Well, if they ain't been working in 3 years and their unemployment ran out last year, they're not part of the workforce anymore, so that don't get counted.
Yeah.
So, they all started OnlyFans pages.
Bro, I'm going to start a feet pics website soon. So to put it in perspective too, so in 1997, the amount of money that was being contributed to the gross domestic product of the United States was $1,379 billion, which was 16.09% of gross domestic product. So the problem is by 2020, that number was $2,238 billion, but was only 10.5% of gross domestic product. So more money is being spent, but it's a smaller slice of what's happening. Anyways.
All right. So for the next one, this was another easy one to look up because I didn't even realize how much he actually did and put in for it. And so I did a little research on it. Said for 4 years straight, he said every week would be infrastructure week.
Talking about Trump. Make sure you
right. For 4 years straight, he said that every week would be infrastructure week. Only that week never came. President Biden signed a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill into law during his first year in office. So now, when I was looking this up, and I'm sure Dino got it going on now, one of Trump's main things that I didn't even know about, like I said, was infrastructure and putting money into infrastructure. And now his thing is putting money into the AI infrastructure, which I don't know if that's a good thing. But, as far as the regular infrastructure and all that shit, there was a lot of money and policies put in to help infrastructure.
And for the average listener who doesn't know what infrastructure is, we're talking about rebuilding roads, bridges, carbon fiber wire so that people in rural areas have cable and are able to get on the internet. We're talking about the way the country runs, train tracks.
Yeah, infrastructure is like it's a big deal more than
how we travel basically across our nation, how information travels across our nation is all considered infrastructure. So
all I know is that right after the infrastructure bill was put into place, it seemed like every fucking road was closed down. It was for like 3 goddamn years. Okay, there was one way in and one way out of everywhere. It drove me fucking insane.
Dude,
everything's broken again.
I live in Cleveland. Do you realize we had a bridge overpass collapse over 90?
When did that happen?
It literally collapsed. It rusted out and collapsed.
We had a couple of them over the years over here, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we needed to spend some money on infrastructure. States, I don't know why states don't have the money. We depend on it federally, to fund infrastructure. But
because every state needs a fucking Doge department. That's why they're blowing us fucking off, taking our money and then just spending on whatever the fuck they want. We're getting robbed here.
I mean, he ain't wrong, because I remember when I was growing up, in Camel, when the mob was still around, our streets was beautiful. There wasn't a pothole in Camel. Now you got to have a 4x4 just to get to my mama's house in Camel.
The mafia was the greatest thing to ever happen in this country.
Don't do that.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
I mean, it was brought here by the CIA. So I mean,
greatest thing ever. Finding bodies shut up in alleys every other weekend.
That didn't happen.
Nobody misses
maybe. Not the Italians. The Italians would at least hide the body.
What you come up with on the infrastructure?
Few things. See, the problem is that everyone wants to look at dollars being spent, and you're going, the problem is that the dollars aren't actually what matters. It's a percentage of things. Like is more money being spent? Yes. But does that mean more infrastructure is happening? No. That's one of the things that is happening. Like, we're seeing more bureaucracy and everything, but like the numbers that I show, they all say that there's more spending on infrastructure. Like, there was a huge spike.
Well, that's because somebody's always taking a cut off of the fucking top, bro.
Correct. That's the problem, right? Is that everyone's taking
so let me cut in here for real quick, Dino. I totally appreciate your in-depth, deep searches, but you're you can simplify that shit. I just typed into the AI, what did Trump do for infrastructure? And it says, proposed infrastructure plan from 2018. Trump unveiled a plan. Well, first of all, the opening of this says, during his presidency, Donald Trump emphasized infrastructure but faced challenges in delivering on promises. In 2018, Trump unveiled a plan to spend $200 billion in federal funds to stimulate $1.5 trillion in investments from state, local, and private sources. The plan aimed to streamline the permitting process, reduce regulatory barriers, and focus on rural infrastructure. Legislative challenges to it. Despite ambitious goals, Trump failed to pass a major infrastructure bill through Congress. Federal spending on roads and bridges remained stagnant, and water infrastructure spending hit a 30-year low. Deregulation. His administration reduced environmental review times for infrastructure projects from 10 years to 2 years or less, aiming to accelerate developments. Technological focus. Trump prioritized broadband expansion in rural areas, 5G deployment, and advancements in AI and quantum research as a part of his infrastructure vision. Overall, while Trump proposed significant initiatives, his administration struggled to achieve large-scale infrastructure reform.
Mhm.
So he put out the plans. He tried to do it, and a lot of it, Congress said no.
Yeah.
So I mean, can't really. I mean, yeah, you ran your mouth and you said you were going to do it, but maybe you need to check with the people who are in charge first.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could say about that. You know, I mean, that's just like, there's a lot of posts out there about Trump's first day promises that, he put out there. Yeah, a lot of it he tried to do on the first day, but the judges and Congress won't let him, Well, yeah, you shouldn't have been running your mouth, asshole. Next time, check with the people in charge.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's the way I feel about it. A lot of shit he did get through, but a lot of shit he can't. And for the people who don't think the eggs have came down, I looked that up. It done came down 3 times already. And the price of gas has came down also. So,
how much are you guys paying per gallon?
Gas came down yesterday to $2.75. And now I just
holy
came
shit,
home.
It's still that high out in Cleveland?
$2.75. I just came home. It's back up to $3.19.
I just paid like $2.69.
Rob, down here, it's fluctuated
that.
from like 250 something to like the highest I paid lately was maybe 275, and it ain't hit that in a minute.
Yeah, check it in the morning and see if it stayed there. Because I've been seeing these dips, but then it kind of goes right back up.
Yeah, it kind of like
it ain't gonna stay.
Dips hard, goes back up a bit, dips again, goes back up. Like it's kind of like
well, that's another one of
holidays. Holidays, you'll see fluctuations in gas prices over holidays, and we just had St. Patrick's Day. So,
well, I mean, Rob, have you noticed this though? And I've noticed this, and I try to teach when I was teaching my kids to drive and stuff. Like the gas prices, they'll take that shit. I mean, no matter who's in charge, they'll take that shit up to say $3-4 a gallon, and it'll be like that for a week or two till everybody starts bitching. Then they'll drop it down to like maybe $3 a gallon, but it started off at $1.50. But people think they got some, gas is going down because it's still, $3. No, you're getting taxed another $1.50 just because it ain't, the $2.50. You're still getting taxed that extra $1.50.
That's kind of a myth that there's one person that can control gas prices.
Well, no, I'm just saying
there's a lot of different things that determine gas.
That's like the myth of OPEC. It's a big. Yeah, it's a big, council of.
Can the president open up the reserves and create, more oil so that gas prices come down? Yeah, you can artificially reduce the price of gas.
Theoretically,
but doesn't that kind of shoot the price up in the grand scheme of things? Like 6 months from now.
Just so you all,
it doesn't. It's artificial. It's an artificial lowering of
it.
Just so you guys are all aware, I hate all of you because I pay $5.59.
And you make your own gas.
And we make our own.
That's Christ. That's USD.
But in all honesty,
you convert that to USD.
What?
Yeah, it's like 6 coins per kilo cup or whatever over there.
Bro, so
moose tail.
It's 5. Hold on. I'm gonna do the math here for US to Canadian.
And you guys aren't even in gallons, aren't you? You're like in fucking like liter. You don't even get a full gallon.
They're using moose pussies over there still. They're taking the whole like womb out of the moose and then filling it up. And they're like, yeah, that's about a gallon.
So we're paying $3.90 US per gallon.
Damn, that's California's fucking
conversion. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Canada is just a cold California. That's all that is.
Bro, trust
cold
me.
California?
It's a cold, frozen California is what it is. It's got the same politics, same expenses, same population. It's just a cold, frozen California.
People crapping in litter boxes and all sorts of weird shit up here.
Dude, they got the same. They got a gay governor. Like,
trust me.
I got a new guy now. Yeah, I got a new guy.
Hey, he's not gay. He's a lizard person. It's different.
The last one was gay.
Over there, right? Like y'all have providences, right?
Providence is not that.
That's Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yes, Rob. It's a Providence. Don't let him argue with you.
Exactly.
All right, so,
I speak French.
All right, shut the fuck up. We got 20 minutes left.
You shut the fuck up.
When we take you guys over, we're going to change Canada Dry to American Dry.
I love it.
Regardless, it doesn't have any ginger in it. Doesn't matter.
American Dry.
Ugh, gross.
Schweppies.
With peepees, yeah.
All right, so being that this list is from his past administration, this is an easy one too to look up. He said Donald Trump said that he would boost economic growth by 4% a year. Nope, economy stalled, unemployment soared, and to the highest level since the Great Depression. Joe Biden has created 13.2 million jobs, and unemployment had been under 4% for 17 months in a row, the longest stretch in 50 years. Now,
Two things there. Yeah, there's two major things that manipulate those numbers, but I'll let you go ahead, Michael.
Right, there's a lot of things that manipulate both sides of these numbers.
Believe in what AI says.
First of all, if you look at the numbers pre-pandemic up until the pandemic, shit was great. Now the pandemic hit hard, and we got a lot of that back, but it didn't come back to the levels that it was. We all know.
Pretty poor before Biden took office, and then I just got more poor. So I don't know about like great. I'm just gonna point that out.
Yeah,
right, that's your fault.
Yeah.
It may be true. It may be true, but I'm just saying. I'm
got no
speaking from experience.
Every little leg up. If you didn't make it, that's on you.
I'm better now in this very moment than I've ever been in my entire life.
So, all right. So, like I said, when I did the research on this, a lot of Joe Biden's numbers are skewed because it was just people coming back to work from the pandemic. So it was just the same numbers. And a lot of the Trump numbers were skewed by the same effect, because they came back from, the pandemic and their jobs, which weren't everybody. Those are the same numbers that are tied into the Biden thing. This is not saying anything about the jobs he created, just the jobs that came back, which they throw into the number work there. So if you comparing numbers straight out and taking the whole pandemic out of it, then it didn't, then Trump lost on that one.
And one thing that changed too major, and I ain't gonna take a long time on this, but one thing that changed major too was work from home aspect. Yeah. So now companies, instead of looking for people just in their location to work in your call center, now you can say work from home jobs available, and now it's easier to hire across the entire United States for a work from home job. So yeah, it was a lot easier to hire people, especially if you had like call center jobs and stuff like that. That's another factor that made hiring go like way up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And then, like I said, a lot of the unemployment numbers, those get skewed because if you've been unemployed for so long, I mean, just like the folks who was pretty much getting paid to stay home and not work for quite some time, I mean, they ain't gonna go back to work. And then, you see these generations, like the one under Coles, like my kids, I got a lot of these fuckwits that think, oh, I don't have to work, or I don't know what kind of bitch you watch me work for fucking 20 years of your life.
Yeah,
and
but
now
you're old.
You think
that's
that
the old way.
Fucking, deserve to get this or that.
Good
example I used to always make, because we all know him, is Ryan. Me and Ryan got into an argument one time because he said he didn't want to take a job because they weren't paying him what he's worth. Bitch, your light bill is late. Your daughter is hungry. Your gas about to get shut off. You better go take your ass and go to fucking work. What the fuck you think you worth? Who the hell you think you are? Fuck
a woman.
He's a gentle flower, okay? Yeah.
But I mean, that's the I don't know how, if it was put in through the schools that year or whatever, somebody took away the fucking you remember little paper thing that you move back and forth, and instead taught them this little fucking bullshit. But the world with these newer kids, man, they just think they don't understand what real deal work is, and the ones that do are getting fucked over.
No, you know what it is? I can tell you right now. They taught us what communism is, okay? Because they fucked up. They told y'all communism was bad. They're just communism. For us, we were like, what is communism? Why are we afraid of it? And they're like, oh, everybody gets paid the same, no matter what job it is. Everybody's got health care. We're like, bruh, that sounds kind of cool. I ain't gonna fucking lie. Of course, it never works out, and there's a dictator that inevitably takes all the money and.
Yeah, it's better because
we at Upside Down Studios do not condone communism of any kind.
You
No
didn't let me
matter what
finish. You
views.
didn't let me finish.
No.
I was gonna say, inevitably, there's always a dictator that takes everybody and creates a genocide and starts a war with the whole fucking world.
And that's why it don't work.
But they left that part out.
Hey,
They left
whatever.
that part out.
Cole, I heard you love dictators, so whatever. Okay, it's fine.
I like to put my dick in taters.
I mean, that's,
Oh Jesus!
ta-da!
Find out on Saturday for Starch Sadness on
Oh, yeah.
Hammered and
We do-
Cheese at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Some people do March Madness. We're doing Starch Sadness for March. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, dude, I found a recipe for haggis for you.
Oh,
Keep it to yourself.
I'll try it, but I don't want
Where are you gonna find a goat to kill?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
He's
they
not
got-
yard,
I'm a goat right here.
let's calm down.
Boom.
All right,
Um,
so the
yeah.
next on the list here says
These egg prices don't get better.
he promised to eliminate the federal deficit. He increased it by more than 60%. Joe Biden cut the deficit by more than 1.7 trillion in his first 2 years, the largest deficit reduction in American history.
No,
Now,
I'm looking at, that's not true. I'm looking at the numbers for how much debt the United States has had year over year from 2015 to 2024. They both failed. You have the most debt ever. You are drowning in debt. Period.
yeah, well,
That's it. Those are the numbers. The numbers, have progressively gone up some 2015 by a couple trillion dollars every single year, and it's only getting worse. That's it.
Keep in mind, I mean, it's something that, I mean, and the national debt is a complicated situation. It's like what, 36 trillion, 37 trillion, something like that.
Let me pull up the U.S.
the
debt.
Doge clock.
Exactly how much it is there, Rob.
Yeah, Rob,
You-
did you know there's a Doge clock? Well, actually, it's a clock that
Dude, don't-
It's
Dude,
the-
Doge is the biggest Trojan horse in history, and y'all motherfuckers gonna find out. I'm not even gonna
Hey,
go into
my
Doge.
people are a fan of Trojan horses. We have used them many times, my friend. So
Biggest Trojan horse in history, and y'all gonna find out.
That's fine. Let's just tear it all down anyway.
Yeah, I guess we
I'm
were told
cool
to
with
find
it.
out with Biden, so I mean we'll find
Y'all
out.
literally are cheering an agency that has no control over it to get into every dollar that the United States spends.
Yeah, you're absolutely
I'm
right.
totally
You're
cool with it.
absolutely right.
It's
Yeah,
not my
Like,
money
it
anymore.
has
They done took it
no
away. Why
guardrails.
do I get audited and they don't?
yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
Elon Musk has more money than
You
my
might-
fucking great
All
grandkids.
of y'all
worth.
might as well just take
He
your
ain't
social
taking my
security
couple
cards
of
and driver's license out and just
Oh,
hold them
dude,
up.
all of our social security cards were leaked last year. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
There was a
Oh, yeah.
mass leak of all of our social security cards and all our social security numbers last year by some fucking terrorist organization.
Now, how many people bitched about TikTok? TikTok went down. They went to the Chinese. They went directly. They said, fuck the middleman, and went straight to China and gave them all their information.
Dude,
They're like, here, take it. And now
Dude,
somebody
if-
looked at your $5 in your bank account, and
it's so funny to me because if Biden would have said, I have this third party agency that's going to come in and look at all of the money that the government spends,
Ukraine.
and I'm not
Obama
going to
did
put
that.
any
He
part-
said
let me
that. And
finish.
y'all were cool with
Let
it.
me finish. I'm going to let this third party agency come in, carte blanche, look at every dollar that the United States spend, and I'm not going to put any guardrails on them. Y'all would have thought that old man is fucking out of his mind.
No, we
And
wouldn't.
no,
Because Obama did it before him.
and y'all like, yay! He's
Dude,
funding
this-
all of the
Third parties save everything.
Yeah,
You need a third party.
That's
I
just
would
an
love to
audit.
know why
Yeah.
people
Who's in
keep
control of
thinking that
Doge?
Trump's hard
Who's
at
the
this.
manager of Doge?
Who's the
cares?
manager of Doge?
What do you
Doesn't
mean? Who
matter.
cares? There's no
Who ca- hey.
accountability. There's no
hold on.
accountability.
There
Rob,
never has been.
Accountability to what? He's not taking money. He's stopping money from being spent.
Right.
What is he
There's
going to be
no-
accountable for?
Dude, who is he selling this to? You say, here's what y'all don't get.
There's no
he's getting
sale.
all
He's
of this
stopping
information.
money.
Hold on. Listen, this is what y'all don't get. He's getting all of this information, right? Y'all don't know who's in control of it, where it's stored, who has access. Is it protected from China? Is it protected from Russia? Y'all know nothing about where
Rob,
this
you got a
information is
TikTok,
going.
don't you?
And y'all are cheering.
Rob,
Y'all
you got
are
a
cheering
TikTok,
that
don't
this
you?
guy is doing
Okay,
this.
but then what
This
is the IRS?
craziest
The IRS
shit
has
I've
all our
ever seen in
information.
my life.
Hold on,
The
but Rob,
IRS has all our
hold on,
Y'all
information.
are like, yay!
But
Give
Rob,
us all of our
One at a
information.
time, one at a time, one at a time.
Rob, Rob.
you're making it sound like the government itself isn't already selling all of the
my
people's
God.
information.
They do.
You don't think that's happening? Have you ever gotten an ad on your phone? Have you never gotten something that was relevant to you on your cell phone?
Listen,
It's all for sale. It's like the idea that it's not. You're missing something, brother.
getting an ad for a fucking timeshare in Florida is way different than your entire goddamn life being for sale to China.
Hey,
And you guys should be sitting on yourselves right now, thinking that Doge, a department, a company that you have no idea who owns, no idea who manages, no idea where this information is stored, going through every piece of information about the United States government, and y'all are cheering it. That is madness to me.
All right,
That
wait
is
a minute.
fucking crazy.
I'm gonna reply to that now.
Ridiculous.
I'm gonna reply to that now. One, again, Rob, you got a TikTok, don't you?
I think so.
Everything you own, everything you your LinkedIn, all that,
Not.
everything about your life is already digital.
Only what I share on TikTok.
And you did it.
No, it's not.
Did it
Look at the terms
intentionally.
and conditions.
the terms and conditions has access to everything in your phone from Target. From TikTok.
I'm okay with this.
Yes, we are, because
not?
it's already
I
done.
have TikTok.
It's already gone.
And Doge's like, oh look, this agency over here that protects veterans that don't have arms, we're gonna cut that off.
That's
Because
not
how many veterans don't have
That's not even real.
So this agency over here, we're gonna cut that off.
That's a bad thing.
That's unnecessary.
Keep getting
Y'all okay
posted.
with this? That is
Yes.
I don't know about it. I can't speak for that. I don't know about that one
Y'all
particular.
are okay with them cutting agencies that keep this government afloat. They are cutting jobs that for people that protect our water, for people that protect our
cutting
national
jobs
parks.
for people
They're
who are
cutting
making
jobs for
trans
veterans.
cats.
They're cutting jobs of people that work in the VA. They're cutting FBI jobs for people that protect your information.
Why do we need so many
Damn,
people doing those jobs though?
Prince. And y'all not even, y'all like, yay.
Yeah. Because I'm getting robbed over here.
If you look at what's really
I don't need people to protect
would've
me.
did it,
Hold
if
on.
Biden would've did it,
Hold on.
If
Everybody.
Biden would have did it,
I-
y'all would have grabbed your gun and it would have been
Rob,
January 6th part 2.
Rob, I don't need somebody to protect me. I don't need the FBI. I don't need the CIA. I have home security. I have a gun. I have a dog. I don't need somebody to come and protect me. I don't want to pay for that.
That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm happy. Y'all happy? I'm happy. But when when y'all information is like
Again,
everywhere.
what exactly is you afraid of anybody seeing? That they ain't already on there. When you go to the doctor's office, HIPAA may prevent somebody to walking in on you, or somebody physically taking your things, but your information is in a computer. It is stored on a server that can be hacked at any time. If you go to the VA, your information.
Did you ever see that movie with Will Smith and Gene Hackman back in the day? I forget what it was called, but
Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Enemy of the State.
Y'all ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Y'all all just became enemy of the state with Doge. So if Marco says something we don't like, bam, Marco's information is gone. Marco can't get a driver's license. Marco can't buy a house.
That's
Marco
the child support system, though.
That's great.
No, I'm just
You
saying.
can vote then.
But it's not in
If
control
you
of
don't
the
have an
government.
ID,
It's control,
you can
listen,
vote.
It's control of somebody you don't even know who the fuck
Just move
it
to
is.
California.
It's control of
If your information gets deleted, if your information gets deleted, you can move to California.
Say Cole Clayton, delete.
I'll
You're
move to California.
That can be done right now. I got one question though. I got one question for Rob.
Crazy, y'all are okay with this.
I want to, Rob. I want to ask you this one question to sum this up, and then we're gonna go on to the next.
Elon Musk. Did y'all vote for Elon Musk?
Why wasn't this an issue when Barack Obama did it?
Barack Obama had a third-party company come in and basically wipe the computers clean.
Yes, look at the fuck
party
up.
was this? Who was that?
Let's Google it.
Who was that? Was it Doge?
Okay.
Dino coming in.
What billionaire was in charge of it?
Did you know
And what
that
billionaire
Elon Musk has a higher clearance? And this was before Trump, and this is while Biden was in office. Elon Musk has a higher security clearance than anybody in Washington.
He has SpaceX. He has government
know what the
contracts.
fuck is in your bank account. He gonna know what the fuck is in your bank account.
And for the record, yes, I did vote. I voted for Elon Musk because Trump said we're going to put Elon Musk head of Doge. We're going to put Tulsi Gabbard here. We're going to put RFK there. I voted for all that. I knew what I was getting into when I voted. Yes, 100%. I voted for Elon Musk.
That's sad, bro. Wait, hey, y'all will find out. I mean, I could be wrong.
You are wrong. You're 100% wrong.
We're only 2
No,
months
'cause
into this,
again,
we're only
it's up
2
there.
months into this administration,
Right,
and everything is already on fucking fire.
You know,
So
everything-
yeah, we'll see.
Hardly. Yeah. Riches are down. Fucking prices are down. The housing market's about to crash. That's fucking awesome. The only thing that really matters, everybody can really say, is stocks are down. But I don't give a fuck about that. Those are rich people losing money, which is a big thing with all you Democrats. Y'all are like, hey, poor people or rich people.
Hold on,
right?
Shut up. The department was called the Government Accountability and Transparency Board. That was under
That already existed.
Obama.
That was already part of Congress.
No, that's in 2011.
Yeah, they had an accountability component of the federal government.
Same thing.
Yeah, same shit.
No, it's not.
Why wasn't anybody? Yeah, it is.
We know that where that information was. That data reported back to the government.
The only information, the only reason why that information ain't so great is because we didn't have the technology now to collect as much as we do now.
What information?
Tell me who's in control of Doge.
Anybody? I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
Trump and Elon.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Big balls.
He absolutely is not.
No, it's a lady. It's a lady who's in control of Doge.
Big
The
balls.
lady who's on vacation and don't know fuck about it.
Big balls. Big balls.
Now,
Hey, listen, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
It's
You
Amy
guys,
Gleason. Her name is Amy Gleason.
Amy Gleason is the head of Doge.
Amy Gleason. Hey, right? Okay. All right, Amy.
Big balls.
She's the acting. Hey,
Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna
stop
learn.
saying big balls, you retard.
That's his name.
Anyways, but listen, the headquarters is in the Eisenhower Executive Office Building in Washington, D.C. What makes you think that that's some sort of secret?
The
Like, it's
headquarters
not-
of Doge.
That's the headquarters. It's literally surrounded by the FBI and other agencies. Like, the idea that you think that anything is secure anymore is delusional, right?
No.
There's no information that is secure.
This is what you don't understand, Dino. They're taking it. Listen, there are agencies that work with the government that's not part of the government that are suing Doge right now because Doge came there with marshals to break into the building and take the information.
Good.
You guys understand that?
That's a
They
good
are
thing.
taking
Hey,
this
Yeah,
information.
if they're hiding something and they're locking you out of it, and
Nah,
you're the
these are-
fucking told by the president,
Are you saying, hold on. Rob, are you saying that you're okay with the American, like the Pentagon, not having passed an audit ever? Like, that's, I don't care. You don't, like,
even this
we're
new
talking
one,
about, you have a problem with accountability? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And
It
listen,
doesn't make any
hey,
sense
all of you
to have
arguing,
accountability to somebody I don't know who it is. I
listen,
don't know who
look
Doge
her up.
is.
Her name's
yeah,
Amy
that's
Green.
called, it doesn't matter. But listen, the
Do
idea
you know the
of being,
guy who's
hey,
gonna audit you next year from the IRS?
Hold
Yeah,
on a
I mean,
second.
yeah,
because all of you have argued so much, you've summoned Ryan Weiss into the comments, and it's just getting worse. Okay,
Right.
Just-
oh, jeez.
And I even have an
What did he
opinion
say?
here.
What Ryan say?
No, what Greg got to say about it?
So
Yeah, Greg, go ahead. Tyler.
now
Oh.
everybody knows here I don't get into all this political bullshit. You know what I mean? But you guys keep bringing up personal information is out there and yada 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 yada.
Right.
Okay, I've done
Control of it.
repossessions.
Control of it.
Right. Okay. Well, I've done repossessions for cars for umpteen years now. For $30 a month, I can find out everybody in this chat right now. Your social security number, where you live, what you drive, how long you've owned it. Now,
How
for
dare you,
$100
Greg.
more,
What's the social security number?
for $100 a month, I can turn around and get everything about you, bank account numbers, everything.
It's just
So-
nothing is private
so-
And
anymore,
that
right?
was before Doge,
so I-
man.
And,
that's
and yeah,
long
because
time.
I've been doing repos for 15 years now, roughly.
So- Hey, the truth is,
listen,
Greg is
listen,
the
okay.
problem.
So, Greg, you got
Yeah.
a good point. Can you get the information? Absolutely. Can you
Right.
control the information? That's what I'm asking.
But they're not
can you-
controlling anything.
Can I say, can you get my information and say, okay, Rob can't buy a car anymore? Or can you get my information and say, okay, Rob has a criminal record now? Can you get my information and say Rob can't go
to be
overseas?
I can do that.
honest, I probably could. Very,
Oh, wow.
very, very,
Okay.
very easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
You just have to
me.
report it to the right agent. Like, so remember, you just tie somebody up in bureaucratic bullshit, right? So all he has to do is report that something is a little fraudulent, and every red flag in the entire system.
Actually, that's the ethical way, Dino. There's other ways that are out there, which Greg, I think, is stating that, you know, for the right amount of money, it don't matter who's looking at who's stealing what. You could
Right.
do it too.
Right.
Do you guys have curtains at your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you don't want people looking in, right?
No, I like the
No,
color.
it's the
No, it's
sun.
because my wife wants curtains. I could
I
give
keep
her
the
less.
sun for. I don't like the sunlight. I keep it
Hey.
closed because they get too
I mean,
fucking bright
seriously,
in
guys,
here.
I can't believe you guys are okay with this, but you know,
I'm on the floor. Nobody's about to see shit, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
You can use the same arguments for the illegals, though. Do you
But
leave
now-
your door wide open?
I can understand.
No,
where
you
Rob's
close
coming-
the door, so you shut the fucking border if you don't want the fucking illegals in.
Right. I can understand where Rob's coming from with the control over everything.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That is 100% bullshit. But I
But
mean,
But the problem with that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
in today's age and technology and everything else, and it don't matter who you are, or where you're at. You know, that's why half of these scammers get away with the shit that they get away with. You know what I mean? All they need is for you to answer the phone half of the time, and you say hello, and they say, "Can you hear me?" And all they got to have you say is yes, and they can do multiple fucking things with your bank accounts, your fucking social security numbers, all kinds of shit.
Right.
And at times they don't even need.
And then when you go to court, and then when you go
after
to court,
a scammer, right? Like if you get scammed, you can go after them, right?
right? But
No.
here's
You
the
can't go
thing.
after Doge. How you gonna go after them?
But
You don't
here's
even
the
know who
thing:
owns it.
when you go after these scammers,
Mhm.
you said yes, you agreed,
Yeah.
and that's all they need in court.
Yeah, but you can fight a scammer. You can't fight Doge. Whatever this Doge shit is, you can't fight it.
Well, so,
information-
Rob,
you
what
basically
evidence
are
is there that they're shutting people's stuff down?
Murder. That's what you
First
do
thing
if
you
you
know
fuck it
that
over.
they ain't allowed to go to the store. They ain't allowed to buy a car.
Oh,
Person
dude,
is
this is
automatically-
the tip of the iceberg, Marco. Watch.
Yeah,
Watch.
but I mean,
Okay, hold on, listen. I'm gonna give you a scenario. I'm gonna give you a
It
scenario.
is a possibility. There is. You're right. There is a possibility.
I am
There's
100%.
also a
I'll
possibility
tell
that
you right
AI
now,
is
it is.
God.
I'll
I'm gonna
tell
give you a
right
scenario.
now,
I'm gonna give you a scenario.
100% able to do.
So Trump petitions the Supreme Court. He says Biden's pardons are void.
Right.
And the Supreme Court agrees and voids all those pardons.
Okay.
Do you not think that at some point Trump will say, okay, I'm revoking everything for these people that tried me on over January 6th, which he's guilty of. I am going to void everything that these people can do. You know what I mean? Elon, turn Schumer's shit off. Turn what's her name shit off. You know, turn all these people shit off, and then let's arrest them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
let's
none
plant
of that has to
information.
do with each other, though.
Here we go with this. Let's plant information that shows that they're guilty of coming after me, and let's put some information in their emails or in their. I mean, this is
Okay,
what,
but the government has been doing that for
about,
for 50, 60, 70, 100 years. That's not
Donald Trump.
right. So no, but you're accusing this agency is the only. This has been happening for a century, right?
All right.
What you think?
January 6th was a frame job by the FBI, actually, and it's been proven.
Trump sat on his ass for 3 hours and let people fuck the government up. He sat on his ass for 3 hours and let the government.
No, there's been the old telephone calls and everything have been leaked out. He was trying to stop that. Nancy Pelosi even admitted that was her fault. It's all facts, Rob. Look it up.
Bro. We'll do another show on January 6th. Let's do another show.
Down.
Yeah, we can.
But no, man. Hey, for real, y'all. Really, just research what Doge is doing. Go through every article and find out, because y'all looking at the big shit.
Have.
Right? There's little shit. There's little
be-
shit that they're doing that's really scary.
I don't because you get your shit from CNN. That's the problem.
They don't have any police officers, but they're using local police. They're using marshals. They're using shit that they're not supposed to have control over.
Kind of like Biden's army of IRS
you guys, this is some Gestapo shit.
If Doge can do it, so can everybody in the fucking White House and every agency. Anybody can do all this shit too.
Dude, you shouldn't be okay with this, Cole. You should not be okay with this.
Dude,
I'm not. delete it all. I'm actually down. I hope they delete me off. I don't owe child support. I don't owe fucking school loans. I don't owe credit cards. I could just disappear and start all over again. I'm cool with that being deleted. I don't know what your problem is.
You can move to Canada. That's fine.
Now-
I got a backyard. Put it in a tent.
You living
Like
in
it-
fucking Italy, bro.
So wait a
Hey,
second.
yeah,
So
listen, yeah, you
here's
guys.
something that gives a little bit of credence to Rob's theory, and again, on the other hand, it proves that it's already here. Now there is no evidence whatsoever that Doge can nor will do anything that Rob just said, but already they do have AI controlled vehicles that if you miss a payment or if you have some kind of like if you're followed by the police or the police want you stopped, that
The
car
emergency shut off switch. Yeah.
in it will either drive itself to the dealership or the police station. That's already done now. So yes, somebody is controlling that shit already, and it has nothing to do with Donald Trump nor Doge.
Yeah.
That is the company. I mean, it's already in Maryland. You ain't even allowed to have a gas car. Wasn't it Maryland? You can't buy a gas truck there. They have to be electric. And all the newer ones, and that's another thing I don't understand with these people who are boycotting Teslas. Most people who buy Teslas were the ones who were for the climate change and to help the environment. And those were the ones that send you back or whatever. So, I mean,
I'm putting a fucking
there's
gun
already,
rack in my Ford
there's
Focus.
already
Fuck it.
a surveillance implement, going on there.
Ain't no
And
good news.
it has nothing to do with Doge. Now, can it possibly happen? Yes, it totally but just like the other shows that Dino and I had, it's a good possibility that AI is God, because it itself has told its creators, I have been here all the time, you just discovered me.
Yeah.
Just think about that. I mean, but
I don't believe nothing AI says. I feel like AI is a woman, and I don't believe nothing either one of them.
well, we was trying to be
They're both
serious
full of
about
shit.
the whole thing. I mean, there is valid points in what Rob's saying, and in the sake of
Yeah,
privacy.
no. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Rob's necessarily wrong in his.
No.
I haven't seen evidence or proof or reason that would happen. But also, I just don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit anymore. Like, burn it all down. If that's what you accidentally do, burn it all down. I don't care.
There should be a level of give a shit there, because again, he does bring up some concerns. But my whole point in the whole thing is that everybody gives up that same plus more information willingly nowadays, especially on social media, that this kind of argument here is invalid. Now, to the older generations like us, it's still got a little validity to us because we haven't lived in the generations where everything we have is online. But I can guarantee, I mean, you could go online and see your kids or your grandkids, and there's shit online that you would have never put out in public.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean,
but now we're dealing with the internet where nothing dies. It's always going to be there, right? And that's very dangerous. But
goes back into the AI being God.
Hey, listen, we are in the hands down one of the weirdest times in history. And listen, Rob's concerns aren't invalid. The problem is that it's more so that it's not just attributable to one department. Where this is en masse worldwide. This is an issue, right? That there is no more privacy is a huge issue. People taking liberties and going too far is definitely an issue. But is it just that one company? Or the one department? I don't think so. I think it's en masse. And the fact is that when so many government agencies cannot and have not passed an audit in so long, there's a bigger problem en masse than there is of this company going, oh, well, they got my information. Yeah, your information is already out there, though. That's the problem.
Hey, and I want you guys just something real quick on the national debt. The national debt is kind of how we got into this conversation, because Doge is trying to figure out how to lower it. And I think the question, Marco, that you had read was Biden lowered the deficit or whatever, and Dino, you saw the thing that said that he actually didn't lower it. Of the total amount that we owe, how much of it is owed to foreign countries?
It should be on the debt clock.
It's on the debt clock. Give me 1 second here.
What do we owe so much for? I don't understand the national debt thing.
That's what I'm getting to. That's what I want to get. I'm getting.
That's always blown my mind.
Bear
Yeah.
with me.
And if we owe countries, just go invade them. We have the best military in the world. Just solve the problem. Like, I don't fucking get it.
So
Well, what happens a lot of times is, like these countries buy our debt from other shit, and then we owe them, and that's been going. Just like people would be very surprised. Everybody talks about the Chinese buying land in America. You'd be real surprised how much land in America belongs to the UK.
U.S. debt held by foreign countries is $8 trillion 638,689 million and going up.
Right. So what number do they always throw at you when you say the national debt? 36 trillion, right?
36 trillion.
Right. And they always say we owe China 36 trillion. No, we don't. We owe about 8.6 trillion. Now, how much of the deficit is actually federal spending?
Okay. Federal spending.
We owe it to the Fed, don't we?
U.S. federal budget deficit official. So U.S. federal spending is currently at 7 trillion. The U.S. federal budget deficit is at 2 trillion.
Exactly. So that's our spending is a large portion of that debt.
Right.
36 trillion is not a good number. I'm not saying it is. 8.6 trillion owed to foreign countries is not a good number. I'm not saying it is.
Correct.
But 36 trillion is a ruse. It's something that scared the shit out of you. But it's a part of it.
Right.
It has components, right? So how do we get the national debt down? Number one, we got to address our federal spending and what the majority, and everybody knows this without even looking up. What does the majority of our spending goes to?
Defense.
Military. The military.
Yeah.
Our military is bigger than the next 3 militaries combined in the world. So if
I'm not willing to give that up, though.
Interestingly enough,
I'm not willing to give that up. That's fine, though.
No. Hey, hold on. The largest okay, so everything I'm telling you is on the usdebtclock.org. It has all of this information is readily available to everyone. So largest budget items, Medicare and Medicaid, $1,670 billion. Social Security, $1,496 billion. Defense and War, $887 billion.
Right.
What?
The
trillion.
Medicare is under a trust. It's protected by a trust. There is spending that goes into that, but like I said, this is more complicated than what people they throw a number out to you. The deficit is 37 trillion. We're dying of debt. No, we're not. We have debt, but some of it is manageable.
No. Your debt is 122% of your gross domestic product. You are drowning in debt. There's whether it's internal or external. Regardless,
I don't get it. Is it the Federal Reserve? Do we just throw a bomb at them, or like what?
Yeah, almost $7 trillion is our spending. We need to get our spending under control, right?
Well, that's the whole point of Doge.
Hold on. But the spending has been on Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the defense is actually half of what's being spent on Medicare.
I'm about to blow your mind. How do we solve that? Remove the income cap. You only pay Social Security if on wages up to $177,000. Look it up. If we remove the cap or at least increase it to $250,000 of your wages, that would solve that problem literally fucking overnight.
Rob, if you need Social Security but have earned $250,000 a year, you're retarded. Okay, that's not. Listen, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Having worked at a bank, I have had wealthy people come in and say somebody's putting this money in my account. I don't know where it's from, and I'm like, oh, it's your Canada pension plan from the government that you've been contributing to. They're like, I don't need it. I'm like, that's not my issue. It's coming to you whether or not. So that in and of itself, that's crazy talk. You're saying, oh well. People who make more money should contribute more. No. That's you're.
That's where the cap is.
That doesn't. No. You're talking out of your ass right now. I'm telling you that right now.
No. I mean,
that's 100%. That amount.
Here's my thing. Okay,
way more complicated than you can means test. They want to add a means test to whether or not you get Social Security. do you have the means to support yourself without
Sure.
Social Security?
They're
Absolutely.
They go to
Rob.
moon testing.
My son is in a
That saves a
wheelchair and
chunk
they
of it as
won't let
well.
him get Social Security. My
We-
son
we-
literally has the mind of a 3-year-old and he's 24 years old and he
Right.
cannot get Social Security. They say we live beyond our means because he has a medical trust. So any of his medical things gets
Mhm.
taken care of. Anything
Right.
my son needs, like if he needs wheelchairs or if he needs diapers or if he needs any of that type stuff, that gets taken care of. But because he has that,
Well, listen, I'm
because
no expert. I don't pretend to be, right? I know certain things, there's certain things I don't know. All I'm saying is when somebody comes on TV and they tell you we're broke because we owe $37 trillion, they're fucking lying to you. Have them break it down. They're trying to scare you with a big number.
yeah, but
right?
if you break it down, it still is the same amount
Hey,
of money as if you
It's,
put it.
it's not even that. Listen, you're absolutely right, Rob.
They'll
Hey,
tell you it's all owed to China or some shit like that.
you're right.
You can't, don't fall for the okie doke, guys. It's
No,
more
but-
nuanced than that. It's more
The-
nuanced than we owe China $37 trillion, so we're broke.
Yep.
That's not it. That's not true.
And you're absolutely right. What we need to do is stop their spending. It's almost as if we should hire somebody to audit these companies so that they don't pay this money. You're absolutely right. I agree. Rob, you are correct.
Group that doesn't
You're
have any
exactly
fucking
right.
hands in the matter.
Hire somebody.
No,
hire-
no, okay,
let's
but
hire a
I
kid named-
want
third
to
party
extend
audit.
Rob and Olive
20-year-old
Branch.
kid named Harry
Guys,
Knight.
guys, I want
to
to
walk
extend
into the-
Rob and Olive Branch here, okay? I do kind of agree with him a little bit about the moving the cap up because how bad inflation was over the last 4 years. We don't know that in 40 years, $250,000 is even going to be a lot of money in
Hey,
40
you have
years
to-
from now.
If you make $250,000 in 40 years per year, you know what they're going to call you? You're homeless. That's what's going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. So you might need to move the cap up a little bit.
Hey, man. It's
I mean,
not,
at least you know what? It's a solution. You know, it's not. It may not be the right solution, but it's more than most of these politicians are giving. You know, it's a
Just
solution.
don't let them lie to you guys. That's the thing. Just do your research. Anybody that's watching this show or that watches this show, do your research. Don't let somebody come on TV and lie to you. And Marco, that's one thing I real commend you about. You always are willing to at least listen.
Right,
And that's the thing, man. You are an intelligent brother. I respect your intelligence. I know sometimes we get into the weeds a little bit on certain things, but I always respect your. That's the whole reason I'm on your show. You know what I'm saying? Because I do want to have
likewise, Rob. I mean,
I want to have an intelligent conversation with you about this stuff because it really is important. You know, there's ways that I feel there's a lot of shit I haven't said on this show, but for the most part, if anybody walks away with anything, don't let people sell you shit. Do your research, find out for yourself,
no matter what side you're on,
and then develop it. Exactly. Yeah, forget sides. Like you said, you're a truther. I really like that answer because I really thought you were going to come back with, yeah, I support Trump or whatever.
oh,
I
God.
like the fact that I like the fact that you were like, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Trumper, I'm a truther. That's fine. I can accept that as an answer.
You know,
Listen,
and we'll end the show with well, I'll let Dino get his word in, but I'm gonna end my part of the show with this. Rob asked me one time, you know, because we got into a little bit heated debate, and he thinks that he thought that I never found any faults with anything with Trump, and all the guys here know when I see something wrong with Trump, I you know, fuck him. If you did something wrong, I ain't gonna be no hypocrite because you fucked up. You know, but just to put it out there, you know, some shit from even the past that he has never resolved that still weigh on my head when I think about any decisions about anything that man says was one, the Khashoggi murder. You know, nobody has done shit about the reporter who was an American citizen that was murdered live on iPhone. You know, instead we making deals with the same people. Nah, fuck them. That's number one. Number two, his son is autistic. He came out in the beginning talking about all this stuff he was going to do for the autistic community and stuff like that. My little brother is autistic. You know, I felt that, you know, strongly about that. Not a fucking
Are
thing.
you saying Barron is artistic?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And nothing was done about that. The Central Park 5. Now, there's been a lot of shit that's been talked about that, and there's a lot of misinformation about that. But when it boiled down to it, even though Trump didn't have anything to do with that, he was running that cocksucker of his on national media about these people, and he was wrong. Now, a real man, at least in my eyes, if you I'd have found out that I was wrong, I'd have been like, wait a minute, my fault. You know, I'd at least extended an olive branch, let him at least stay in the fucking hotel for for free or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing that I firmly, believe that he stepped on his dick with. And I mean, there's countless others if we sit there and go down with.
You pay somebody to do that.
Any conservative, any Republican, anybody who's listening, if you think Trump is your God, if you think Trump is there for you, if you think any of these motherfuckers are there for you, they ain't. They
Amen.
ain't.
Amen.
You know,
That's
Trump
the
is not a God. Biden ain't even in the conversation. Obama wasn't a god. Fucking Bill Clinton wasn't a god. You know, our JFK, even if you look in his ass, everybody worried about him getting popped in the fucking dome. What the fuck was he doing? Ask Marilyn fucking Monroe, that little slut. So,
Wow.
they weren't fucking gods, and they never will be.
I mean, we all got to look after our own.
Hey,
We're going to
hey.
pick our children over anyone. You know what I mean? So why would you think the president is any different? So.
Also, how dare you accuse sluts of anything? We support sluts on this show, Marco.
No, we
Yes,
don't.
absolutely.
No, we
Yes.
don't.
Maybe you don't.
Definitely not me.
And also too, on Marco's point, is that's absolutely true, Rob. Is like, listen, we have nothing to do with anything other than is it in the people's best interest? And the problem is that government has been failing everyone worldwide for too long, and they have too much power and they're spending too much money, and it all needs to stop. This was a Hail Mary by people. People didn't vote for Trump. Remember, Trump is not a good person. He's not some sort of he knows what he doesn't know jack. He could barely comb his hair properly. The point is that it was a vote against government. And this was we had this discussion when the elections were happening where I'm like, that's how Canadians vote. We don't vote people in, we vote people out. We're like, well, this guy's fucked it up. Bring in somebody else from a different party. And that's the problem, is that now is you have an entire listen, realistically, the most powerful country in the world is standing here going, all right, bring in some fucking idiot. Maybe he'll do something better. Why? Because you guys have been failed, right? En masse. People, you guys deserve as being I'll be honest with you. We were this close to having you guys have to learn geography, and then Trump got elected, and you guys are like, we're back to number one. But the fact is that it's more about that you guys deserve better, as does everyone in the world. We're all being failed en masse, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
We're not Trumpers.
Oh God,
really,
no.
if we're being honest.
I didn't even like him in Home Alone 2.
It's just the option that we were given. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, you have a MAGA hat somewhere in your house?
I don't. I don't.
Good for you, Cole.
Greg, anything to wrap up on?
Nope, I think we're good.
He has pulled all of our social insurance number in the time that we were not talking. That's what he's like, I'm coming to your house. I'm taking your car.
Greg is big balls. Greg's big balls. That's his name.
Greg's big balls. That's for sure. Yeah.
All right. So, Dino, promote your shit.
We got mental health is tomorrow night at 8:30. We have Saturday is going to be Hammer and Cheese, where we're doing Starch Sadness instead of March Madness, because we don't play sports, we just work out. And then on Sunday, Generation Dan is not happening because I'm having a day off, you bastards. So please tune into everything. I may be doing some Lego, who knows, but check it out all here. No, over here. There we go. That's how the internet works. By all means. Please,
Rob, you got anything?
Rob, you're always welcome to come on any of our shows.
Oh, awesome, dude! Thank you, guys.
Yeah, always. You're more than welcome. Rob, and you got anything to promote?
Yeah, actually, Sad Team 6, who is a group that has a corporation to support mental health for first responders, is doing their first show at the Canton Palace Theater in Canton. I'm actually headlining that show with GW Nail, Matt King, and a few other comedians. Sweet. And it's to help, once again, mental health for first responders. Awesome. And it's a 1,500 seat theater. We got about 800 tickets sold. So if you guys can come out and support that, I would love to see that that number get a little bit higher. And
Fuck
then
yeah.
next week, root for your boy. I'm competing in the World Series of Comedy at
Woo!
Crackpots Comedy Club, March 27th, down in Massillon, Ohio. If you guys can come out, it's going to be like 4 or 5 days of some of the best comics from all over the country competing. So come to Crackpots Comedy Club. Wednesday, you'll see me. But I'm sorry, Thursday you'll see me. But Wednesday through Saturday is the competition. So that's in Massillon, Ohio, Crackpots Comedy Club.
Sweet. Yeah, come check them out. Support them. Support all your local comics, everybody out here. And above all else, like we said, do your own research and be good to each other. We all got to live in this fucking world.
Hell yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Canton first responders need some mental health. They see some shit out there. And that
Bro, that's
Canton's
absolutely
scary.
Tell me
Oh,
about
Right.
it. Tell me about it.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, thank you guys. I love all you guys, man. It's good to see all you guys again.
Yep,
We
yep.
rocked out over the pandemic, and once again, this feels like a reunion. So appreciate
Right.
you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
So, like I said, man, you're more than welcome on any of your shows anytime.
Absolutely, guys.
All right, guys.
All right. Good night, y'all.
So what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. So what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. So what the fuck?